Hello and welcome back to Sam and Ham. This is Ham, and today we're going to be looking at some more D&D 5th edition homebrew. Today we're going to be looking at the Path of the Marauder. It's a barbarian subclass made by NotTheDreadPirate on Reddit. GM binder link in the description. Ironically, a kind of pirate theme to the subclass, so I think it's pretty interesting. Let's dive into this. First thing I want to point out here is that he has a Marauder's Ambition. It's another one of those like little flavor things that they started kind of doing. I noticed a lot of them in Tasha's, kind of like how you got for like Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, it tells you how you probably got your powers. This one's just kind of giving you ambition, like a bond or like a goal kind of thing. I like them. I think they're pretty clever. I don't think these things are necessary for a good homebrew, but it definitely kind of makes it stand out, you know? A lot of people, myself included, kind of struggle with making good flavor for some of their stuff. They think about the mechanics a lot and don't come up with this little extra bit of lore. Let's be honest, when was the last time we were reading some homebrew and read through this paragraph at the beginning? But when we dive into some mechanics, the first ability they get is called Fighting Dirty. You can use this ability in 3 different ways while you're raging, which is a good qualifier because it's a barbarian. Most of your abilities should come when you're raging, right? The first one is Smokescreen. As a bonus action, you distract an enemy within 5 feet of you that can see or hear you until the start of your next turn. Your allies have advantage on attack rolls against the distracted target. The next ability is Plunder. Whatever your targets have is yours for the taking. When you hit a creature with a melee attack, which again, you're a barbarian, you should be hitting people with melee attacks, you can make an athletics check versus either their athletics check or their acrobatics check the target chooses. Kind of like with a grapple. And if you succeed, the target drops the item and it falls at their feet. So kind of like Disarming Strike from the Battlemaster. And Back Scratch. Whenever you take damage, you can use your reaction and choose an ally within 30 feet. That ally can then make one weapon attack against the creature that damaged you, provided the target is within range of one of their weapon attacks. So either good if you have somebody in melee with that person, or if you just have an archer somewhere. You can use these features a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and gain them all back on a short or long rest. I think that's pretty cool. You get 2 uses of these at level 3 and 3 at level 5, obviously, as your proficiency bonus goes up, which isn't a whole lot, but that's alright. It's about half as many uses as you'd get out of like a Battlemaster, and seeing as barbarians already have enough buttons to kind of work with, I think that's probably a fine number. And the fact you get them back on a short rest is cool. I think that's kind of how a lot of martial classes should work. They should be the kings of short resting, other than warlocks, I guess. I think all of these abilities are pretty well balanced. I was a little worried when I was reading through this the first time before I got to the end where it talks about how many times you can use it. And with that, I think it's totally balanced. Smokescreen is just a worse version of the Path of the Totem Warrior Wolf ability that you get at level 3, where it's just constant. Plunder is just disarming people, and Back Scratch it's pretty decent for some action economy. There's not really a good barbarian equivalent to compare those two that I can find, at least. But yeah, all of them seem pretty good, and when they're on such a limited amount of uses, then I don't see any problems with this one. They also get at level 3, Course Negotiator. Whenever you make a charisma check, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your strength modifier, minimum 1. In addition, you gain proficiency with either cartographer's tools, navigator's tools, or vehicles, land, and water. That's cool. I like when they give skills out with your subclass. It makes it feel a lot more flavorful. And I've said it before, I hate when they give you a skill and then don't give you the ability to sub it out for anything, because then you run into the problem of, do you get that ability at level 1 when you're making the character, or do you wait till you level up? And it's just complicated. So I think having the choice of 3 is enough variety that I doubt you'll have all 3 of those from your backstories, so you're getting something here. At level 6, you get Assured Assignment. It's a good supporty style ability. I know something like this came up when I was reviewing the Path of the War Master Barbarian a while ago. It basically lets you share your rage bonus. Your allies gain a bonus damage rolls against creatures within 5 feet of you. So either you're helping the rogue, if he's next to you, or stabbing the guy you're fighting, or you can help your archer out if he's, 120 feet away. As long as he's shooting somebody next to you, he gets this bonus. I think that's a pretty elegant way to do it. Again, kind of compare that to the Wolf Totem. Barbarians have a predisposition to helping your allies as long as you're hurting the guy right next to the barbarian. An additional part of this ability is, as a part of the bonus action to enter your rage, you can choose a number of allied creatures equal to your proficiency bonus that you can see within 30 feet. Those creatures may immediately move up to half their speed. I think this is cool. It just kind of helps you, like, at the start of probably the first round of combat, because, I mean, when else are you going to rage, right? Just get a little bit better positioning. This is going to be very nice for your archers and wizards who get caught in an ambush. Assuming they don't already get murdered by the time you get to rage, Very cool ability. I don't really have too much to complain about here. I think both parts of that ability are pretty fantastic, like supporty style abilities. A lot of barbarians do get some useful stuff at level 6 for helping their allies. I know Path of the Ancestral Guardian is a good example of that. So I think this was a very well made ability. I'm going to go over both of these, the level 10 and level 14 ability, and then I'm going to talk about them all at once. So at level 10, you get Improvised Assault. When you take the dash action, you can choose to conduct an Improvised Assault. Until the end of your turn, whenever you move within 5 feet of a creature, you can choose to make one melee weapon attack against them. This ability may be used to make a number of attacks equal to your proficiency bonus, and a creature can only be targeted by this ability only once per round. Once you use this, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. And then at level 14, you get Leading by Example. I do like the opening sentence of, as the foremost expert in surprise surgery, your allies look to you for demonstrations. Whenever you score a critical hit while raging, you can choose one ally within 30 feet. That ally may use their reaction to move up half their speed and make one weapon attack. This ability cannot trigger off the same enemy more than once per round. I don't know why they need that qualifier. I think if the Barbarian crits the same guy twice in a round, you have bigger worries. So the reason I want to talk about these both at once is I really honestly kind of believe that these abilities should be flopped. Generally, at level 10, Barbarians get some kind of out-of-combat utility feature. Looking at like Ancestral Guardians, Totem Warrior, they both get to cast these out-of-combat spells. And that's generally what I look for in a Barbarian subclass. But I wanted to look a little bit deeper and see, maybe there was some kind of precedent set for this. And I came to the Zealot Barbarian. They get their Zealous Presence as a bonus action, they buff their allies. And so that reminds me a lot more of Leading by Example. And then generally, when you get to level 14, that's when you get another really strong offensive ability. That's where I think this Improvised Assault can come into handy. It's a good, strong AoE damaging ability. I just think if you kind of compare Leading by Example compared to like Rage Beyond Death, Leading by Example comes across as a little weak to me. Even if you have advantage on every attack roll from Reckless Attack, you're not critting very often, maybe twice a combat. You have like 10% chance to crit, unless you've got some weird champion multi-class going on, So I think, personally, I don't think there's anything too wrong with this. It's not like this makes or breaks a subclass for me. But Leading by Example, it's a buff, helps your teammates. I think that would go better in the level 10 slot. And then Improvised Assault, damaging ability, should go better in the level 14 slot. I think that would also help because Improvised Assault is kind of okay when you get it at level 10. When you get it at level 10, sure, you have a proficiency bonus of +4, so that's potentially 4 attacks in a round, which is not bad for a Barbarian. There's a reason level 20 fighter exists, But, it's only going to get better with levels, so getting at level 14, it's going to be even stronger. Then you get 5 attacks around. Yeah, they're all against different guys, but, come on. That's pretty cool. I feel like that makes for a cooler capstone of the subclass than the once-in-a-while crit thing that helps your allies rather than yourself. But yeah, both abilities I think are some really cool design. I think this entire subclass is actually pretty darn nice. But that brings us to the end of it, a pretty short, simple, and nice subclass. Pretty much the only things I had to really offer too much feedback on were those level 10 and 14 abilities. I think everything else here, fantastic. I love the versatility that you're going to get from fighting dirty. I love the out-of-combat utility from Course Negotiator, both in the charisma checks and the skill. I love how clever and clean the Assured Assignment is as a support option. And I really love this Improvised Assault as a capstone martial ability. Just being able to literally just run circles around the battlefield and just chopping people to bits. I think it's cool. And Leading by Example, I don't love crit abilities in 5th edition because, in Pathfinder you can make it pretty often that you're going to crit. You can crit on like a 14 in Pathfinder if you get the right build. I haven't looked into crit builds in a while, sorry if I'm way off on that, but when your best crit options in 5th edition are champion fighter with advantage, then I don't know. Thanks again to NotTheDreadPirate for making this subclass. It's been a lovely read. I can see any DM allowing this in their game. I don't think anybody would have any kind of qualms with it if they allow any homebrew of any kind. So links to the GM binder document in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.